A secret solution in a crisis that no one knows. #MCO 2020 Part 2. Dear Paprika, in pressurized situations like in a crisis, people need solutions, a way out, an answer. They want to know how to solve their problem. I have a secret solution up my sleeve. This solution is one of the best things you can do in pressurized situations. And here it is. Do nothing. You should do nothing because there is nothing you can do. If you could do something, you would have done it already. If there was a flight out of Cambodia, I would have booked a ticket already. Since all my options were limited and risky, I simply did the next best thing. Nothing. When you do nothing, you will get a strange sense of peace. With the peace, you will be able to think clearly. You won't feel pressured or panic. Sometimes when you are at peace, you might think of a solution you didn't even consider before or realize was there all the time. When you do nothing, you will also do something else that is important. You will not be making the situation worse. You understand you cannot do anything else to help the situation. In fact, doing something could make it worse. If I had flown to Bangkok and found my connecting flight suddenly cancelled, I would be stuck in Bangkok instead. This was proven so by news reports of travelers stuck there when their connecting flights were unexpectedly cancelled. Doing nothing is harder than it sounds because the pressure is still there. My family was still sending me messages and I was worried about my expenses. Doing nothing doesn't make the problem go away automatically. You are doing nothing because there is nothing you can do. And you want some calm to be able to think. So you must do your best to shut all that out. What you are looking for is peace and clarity of mind. In my case, I stopped reading my messages, poured myself a drink, and sat quietly. Maybe your way of doing nothing is reading a book or listening to music. Whatever it is, you must shut out external pressures. I know some people who like running around like a chicken without a head looking for a solution. These people thrive on being busy working on a solution. They don't like thinking or planning. They just like doing. So they get busy with doing. In my experience, this usually makes the situation worse and it will stress them out. This is wrong. I once met a retired Australian soldier who showed me his emergency kit. I was surprised to see that it was a metal box that was smaller than his palm. Inside was a hook, fishing line, needle and thread, a compass, plaster and a few more items. And there was a tea bag. I thought, how typical of an Aussie. Tea as an emergency item. Then he explained that it was more than that. If an Australian soldier was lost in the jungle, cut off from his platoon, his first task is to brew himself a cup of tea. The act of brewing and drinking tea will calm the panicky soldier. A calm and collected soldier will be able to think clearly of a solution to his problem. A stressed out soldier will probably do something rash and get into more trouble. Now, there is a second part of doing nothing, and that is you are to wait for an opportunity to arise or keep your eyes open for a possible solution. You must be like a tiger waiting in the bushes, ready for the right moment to pounce on your prey. You must be like a general waiting for the right time to send your troops to attack the enemy so that you maximize your chances of winning while lowering the number of lives lost on the battlefield. Once I calmed down, I slowly looked at my options again. I looked for flights, I looked at bus schedules, I read news updates about the restrictions. I talked to my Cambodian friend about staying at the bar. Yes, I was lucky to stay in a bar for free instead of a hotel. If I had panicked, I might have booked and paid for a week of hotel stay, which would cost around 500 ringgit. and bought a 2,000 ringgit air ticket. Instead, I was able to lower my lodging expenses while looking for another way to get home. One by one, I worked on my problems. I calmly thought of a way to tell my students' parents about my situation. I am sure they would not be pleased to hear that their children's education would be affected, especially those who are sitting for their UPSR and PT3 exams. I came upon the idea of continuing my lessons online. That would mean convincing parents that online lessons would work and teaching them to use a video conferencing app. Almost all of them agreed to have online classes. If I had offered online classes at the start of the MCO, it might have backfired because many people took the MCO as a blessing in disguise, getting a full salary while not going to work, just sitting at home, relaxing and spending time with the family. They might have just turned around to say, let's take a break from tuition and only resume after the MCO is over. However, I waited for a week before suggesting the online tuition idea because I suspected the parents were fed up with watching their children sitting around at home and wasting their time lazing around the house. Sometimes the problem will even solve itself, or a solution will present itself. For example, when I have to deal with loud and angry people, I usually do nothing. I do not respond or address the angry person nor his gripe. I just ignore him and move on as if he had not uttered a word. The problem will solve itself. The angry person will usually calm down or walk away when no one is fueling his rage any further. In my Cambodian adventure, a solution presented itself. I tried to make the best of my situation by making funny videos. The videos caught the attention of Ginger Chick and Auntie Tracy. Auntie Tracy found out that many Malaysians stuck overseas were being helped by the Malaysian embassies stationed around the world. She helped me get in touch with the embassy in Cambodia and Putrajaya. I also managed to book a flight out on Sunday at 800 ringgit. So now that the embassy knows I'm stuck in Cambodia and I have a ticket to go home, I felt relieved. Then Ginger Chick found special flights offered by Mars for Malaysians on Friday. He suggested I cancel the Sunday ticket and buy the Friday one instead. I wondered if that was a good idea since I would only save 2 days staying in Cambodia and stand to lose the cost of Sunday's flight ticket. After reading about other sudden cancelled flights, I decided to take his advice. As luck would have it, after I bought the ticket on Friday, Sunday's flight was cancelled by Mars. This also means Mars would give me a refund for Sunday's ticket. Dear Paprika, when you are faced with an impossible situation, consider doing nothing. If you could have done something, you would have done it already, but since you cannot do anything, just do nothing and wait for a solution to present itself or the right time to try a solution. Your loving father, Daddy.